So we're just going to talk a little bit more about what it's been like to quit gambling after gambling more than 28 years. People ask me a little bit like, what's wrong? A lot of changes going on in life. Most have been very good. Um, you know, because this has been such a huge part of my life, it, it's hard to put into words the experiences that I'm really going through. Frankly, um, life looks much different. The last time I did not gamble was, of course, the day before my 21st birthday. However, I had some gambling experiences before that. I believe I was about 20 years old. Me and a pal bought some motorcycles, and I thought we're going to Colorado from Southern California. And of course, maybe a time of year that it could not be done. So here I have this motorcycle, I'll just ride it to Colorado. Being very stupid because I'll say his name because of course it means no difference. Randy told me to my face, he was like, "Oh, that can't be done." Why? Because he is driven over the Continental Divide. But that didn't even slow me down. I tell the story because it's very close to, why, how I got hooked and the, ignoring simple advice like, no, you can't do that. So we make it to Vegas, me and my buddy on the bikes. It was a long trip. Just if nothing else, I've not experienced that from, just a helmet pushing you in the face and the wind on your chest, and it's a long trip on a motorcycle. And then if it's not a great motorcycle, right, bouncing around. But we made it that far. Cold. Actually got lost. I am familiar with that trip pretty good, and this is of course before Google Maps and all that great shit. So we had taken off for Las Vegas in their motorcycles and went down a few wrong roads. So it took at least 3 or 4 hours longer than maybe it would have. However, I had ideas. We went into Las Vegas and, of course, gamble. We were underage, I wonder what really would have happened if, like, we hit a jackpot. Being a dealer, heard of stories like this, but gambled a little bit. So on that trip, we made it on our motorcycles all the way to St. George, Utah, where it began to hit me. We're gonna make it. And we had to rent a truck. And of course, renting a truck to some young kids, very young kids. I don't remember when, maybe I had to be somewhere in the area of about 19, 20 years old. We put the motorcycles both. I remember driving over the, Continental Divide, right? Maybe is what it is. 13,000 feet, snowing with two motorcycles on the back. Then realizing, wow, what that guy must have thought, Randy must have thought, oh, these idiots, right? That's really what I feel like how I got suckered in that long. It's kind of like a test of will type thing. Like poker, I would say that poker describes about 90% of my gambling career. Playing poker, moving around to play poker, driving way too far to play poker, thinking in the back of my mind before I made it to Utah, I'm gonna make this. It's silly to think. Silly to think how suckered you can get for that long. I enjoyed the challenge. I enjoyed the what if factor. But I mean, here you are, here I am at the all done, and things feel a lot different. A lot of course, because I vlog and I travel. I budget and stuff like that, all with this going on, the habits that I develop as a gambler. Oftentimes think, it's weird because I will still think about this thing, this part of it. Is where the location, is it near a casino? This is a strange one. This is a very strange one. I don't it's very much like a divorce. I've had a couple divorces, so I recognize the feeling. A lot of reflection. You have a very short memory about some things, but right now, nearly 3 years clear of gambling. And like I said, oftentimes we'll look at the location of a casino. I don't know why I do that. Or find out where the nearest casino is. This is the strangest thing. But it's not what I thought it would be. It's not how I thought it would be. Excuse me. The changes are just, a lot of my thought process has changed, and oftentimes I see the difference between how I used to think about money, budgeting. I'm glad I remembered this part because I listened to this lecture on addictive and compulsive behavior, and now they have kind of broken up the gambling problem, compulsive gambling, gambling disorder, kind of broken it up. Sometimes I feel like the people giving me advice and stuff like that, I'm like, man, have you ever gambled? I think about that. Because sometimes I feel like they're off, but many people are doing a lot of things, look at gambling a lot of different ways. Even I know that from some of the other friends that I have, that I may have judgments about their gambling. And it's so interesting because, of course, all I can go off is what I observe. We go to the casino together, oftentimes trying to borrow money from one to the other, and then lots of bad feelings, or we win, right? There was definitely in my career, I was buddy with a couple very interesting gamblers, some which, like, I have this buddy, again, I'm always nervous to out somebody because there's at least a good chance they may be watching, and I would never want to hurt their feelings, but I have a friend that's gamble till he's broke type of person. I'm actually admire his, like he always used to drive a brand new car, things like this. And I would look at how he gambled and I'd be like, how's this guy not under a bridge somewhere? But many times I was close to under a bridge somewhere, You think you get away from something like that, and it's kind of like what Randy told me, oh man, you never make it. And he's right. And it's the same thing like, oh, they don't build these mega resorts because, gambling is not profitable. So that the evidence, you're walking in, viewing the evidence of that. So it's a really dumb thing to be suckered into. I feel like there's a lot of greed base behind it. I do feel like there's some, maybe gambling shouldn't exist. It's kind of some people can't help themselves type of thing. It certainly is silly. people go on vacation in Las Vegas to this place, you know. Oops, you lost your money. But at least I'm free now. That's about the best upside. Thanks again for watching. If you want to check out some of my older gambling videos, I'll link them up here or whatever. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.